today, back again with another video for y'all. And today is a rant video. I will be ranting about server pet peeves. This is coming from a person who used to serve. Will I go back to serving? Maybe. The money's good, but that's another video. But today we're talking about server pet peeves. And so I'm gonna need y'all to get your freaking tea. I got mine. Let's sip. So I'm about to give you the real deal, real spill. You feel me? This ain't even tea. This is margarita, y'all. I'm not even playing. Okay. So basically, I'm just gonna be saying things that servers hate that people do, and you feel how you feel about it. If you're a server, then I know you're gonna feel what I'm saying. But people have like this weird thing against servers where they'll be like, choose another job. Honey, let me tell you something. You like to go out to eat, right? If servers chose, like if there were no servers, you would have nobody to serve you when you go to a restaurant. So, like that's so ignorant for people to say, like, get another job, get a regular job. Okay, somebody has to do it. And if you like to go out to eat, then how do you expect to go out to eat if there's no servers? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a lot of backlash from people that are like against serving, and a lot of praise from people that have served or are servers, because these are things that people do and we freaking hate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so let me just sip. Give me a second. I made this margarita myself and it's busting. That's my topic number one. Like, don't say that a server should get another job, because at the end of the day, every single job, somebody has to do it. And if there's no servers, then you can't go out to eat, because who's gonna bring you your food? Are you gonna go back there and make it yourself? Oh, okay. So that's first. Second thing is, at my restaurant, I don't know, I've never been at a tray carrying restaurant. So for the most places that I've worked, we have a 3-plate carrying system. And that is 1 plate here, 1 plate here, 1 plate here. Boom. You feel me? Okay, so if I'm going to a table of 5, you have 5 people in your party, and you see me carrying 3 of your entrees, do not ask me where the other person's food is, or don't say like, oh, I also got broccoli. Oh, I'm sorry, I left my octopus hands at home today. Like, where? How? On my foot? Like, what? You want me to put it on my head? Like, I'm coming, I'm bringing it. Like, I'm doing my job. Like, let me do my job. And I hate that. Like, I hate that so much. Don't ask me where something is, or don't ask where the rest of the food is, because it's coming. Like, either I got somebody following me. At my job, we had that system. It's called a follow. So if I have 5 people and I carry 3, the other person's gonna get the last few things from that the table needs. You feel me? So don't freaking ask where the rest of your stuff is, or don't say like, oh, you forgot I didn't. Can I do my job, please? Like, can I do my job? You want me to clock out and you clock in, or? Yeah, so I hate that. That's definitely a pet peeve. When a person gives you a verbal tip, so if they say to you like, oh my gosh, you did so good, or oh my gosh, you're such a great server, and they don't freaking leave, like it don't match. The tip and what they said, it don't match. Like, you can't say, oh my gosh, you were amazing. You can't say that and then leave me 10%. Like, that don't add up. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you might as well just not even say anything if you're gonna leave me 10%. Like, don't do that. Please, 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 please. You know, I'm all about budgets. I'm all about saving your coins. But if you cannot tip your server, please don't go out. Don't go out. Don't go out. Let me put you on game. Wendy's has a 4 for $4. You get 4 items for $4.30. Let me put you on game. Popeyes, most of the time they have a $5 box. If they don't got the $5 box, then they have like some sort of special that is $5. Right now they have the surf and turf. You get chicken fingers, and you get some shrimp, you get a biscuit, and you get french fries. All of that, $5. Let me put you on game. Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has this thing called, like, I don't know what it's called, but basically you get either a burger, some chicken fingers, whatever you choose, chicken sandwich, French fries. You get a sundae and a drink, all for about $5 or $6, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there's other places that you could be going. Like, you don't have to go to a restaurant if you don't have the money to freaking tip. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. People do that. And they'll be like, I'm only trying to spend $50, but run up a $48 tab and leave the rest of the change, or don't leave anything. Like, are you, like, what? What? Like, no. No. So disgusted. I'm disgusted. I can't. So don't be doing that. Like, don't do that to go under tip, or don't go to not tip the server. Like, that's how we get paid. Like, I don't think a lot of people know. A server makes $2.13. That is the standard in Georgia, unfortunately. Some places they get minimum wage. Georgia is not one of them. So servers get paid a certain amount, but if you get paid $2.13 like me, all my checks said 0.00 because the taxes eat it up. And 9 times out of 10, most servers, they have to still pay taxes at the end of the year. So with all of that to say, like, we don't get paid technically. We don't get paid. We get paid by our tips. And if you don't tip us, then we don't make no money. And that's working for free. And we are not servants, we are servers. Like, I think people get that mistaken. Like, we are servers, not servants. I'm not a maid, I'm not a slave, I'm not none of that. None of that. I'm a server. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're paying me for the service. You're paying me to take care of you and make sure that your experience is wonderful, to make sure that you don't have to go get stuff. I'm not making you go to the kitchen to get your own, to make your own meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing you everything that you need. I'm refilling your drink. I'm creating this atmosphere of whining and dining, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you create an atmosphere. We're doing the work, is what I'm saying. All of that to say is we're doing the work and we deserve our freaking money. I've worked many places, but I've also worked at Hooters, and I'm just gonna say this because it happens everywhere, not just at Hooters, but don't freaking go to nobody's job trying to freaking hit on them. Like, no, like, they're doing their job. Like, why? Why is you trying it? Especially at Hooters, like, it's a bunch of fine girls. Like, we fine. Like, we know that. So it's like, why are you coming here trying to do all of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but honestly, if you really about it and you really trying to get a server, like, as a girlfriend or something, you better spend some money on her. And that's just period. But all in all to say is, don't be trying to go to nobody's job and hit on them. Like, don't be going to Hooters trying to get the girls' numbers, because, like, bro, come on. That's just like you going to a strip club and really thinking that the stripper's in love with you type of thing. Like, they're doing their job. They're there to create the fantasy. They're there to create the illusion that they want you. But bottom line is, they do not want you. They just want their money and they want to go home. You feel me? So don't be coming with that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be rude to a server if they're just doing their job. So I've had instances where, like, as a server, you get trained to, like, do your introduction, your intro. Like, hi, my name is Deja. I'll be taking care of you, such and such, like that. Okay? So there is people, rude people out here, that won't even let you, you know, say your spiel, like, say what you have to say in the beginning. They'll just Diet Coke. Like, why do you have to be rude for? You don't have to be rude. Like, hi, my Diet Coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, just cut you off very abrupt, very rude, very, like, you don't have to come at me like that. Like, if I didn't come at you like that, don't come at me like that. And that's on period. Another thing, don't get mad at the server that your food did not come out correctly. And I say this because people really think that we be back there cooking. Like, I've never worked at Waffle House. Maybe it works that way at Waffle House. If I'm talking about the establishments that I have worked at, we don't go back there and cook the food. So I'm gonna need for you to tone it down and not get mad at me because your steak came out wrong. Now, sometimes I understand that servers do mess up and we put in orders wrong. But that doesn't mean that you have to get a whole entire attitude, because 9 times out of 10, it happens in the kitchen. And what y'all don't understand is, okay, you could have a steak medium rare, whatever, but there's also 10 other steaks back there being cooked 10 other ways. Some people are not quick with it, but I'm quick with it. I'll be like, you want to speak to the manager? You want me to go get my manager? You want to speak to the manager? You want to speak to the manager? Because I'm not going to stand there and have you yelling at me because you don't like your food and you think that I cooked it when I didn't. I didn't cook your food, and I don't got time for your attitude. So, do you want me to go get the manager? Do you want me to get the manager? Do you want to speak to my manager? I can go grab the manager. You feel me? Like, ain't nobody got time, honey. Another thing that I hate is If I'm talking to another table and you right here and I'm at this table right here, don't wave at me. Don't wave at me. Don't A at me. If I told you my name, I don't expect for you to be like A. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, it's excuse me, miss, ma'am. Like, can I get some respect? Like, don't freaking A me. Hey, excuse me. Like, no, don't do that. Like, don't wave your hands, don't be snapping, none of that. Like, we're not dogs, like, don't do that. As a server, we're trained to circle our section like every 2 minutes, I think, is like the standard. But you circle your section, you learn, you understand. So if I see, like, I'll walk by and I'll eye what my table needs. I'll eye, like, what I gotta do next. If I see that your Diet Coke is almost done, I know in my head when I'm back there, make sure I get the Diet Coke. I don't need you. People do this and I hate this. They will have their cup and they'll tap their cup. Do not tap your cup at me. Like, don't do that. That's rude. That is so rude. So freaking rude. I hate that. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Like, where you holding it up, don't do that. When you go out, you should have etiquette. And a lot of people don't have etiquette. And it shows that people don't have etiquette. They weren't taught how to go out correctly. And some people, they just not used to stuff. So they're like the people that go out on occasion, oh my gosh, I hate like holidays and like the weekends and stuff, because that's when you get the people that don't usually go out. Like, they don't know how, they don't know proper etiquette, they don't know how to act when they're going out because they're not used to it. Another thing I hate is don't get an attitude with me when I'm trying to clarify something with you. So if you ask me for coffee, I then have to ask you, do you want cream and sugar? So don't get mad at me the fact that I have to ask you, do you want cream and sugar for your coffee? Another one, this is for the families really. If you bring your child out to eat, which is no problem, you know, if you bring your child out to eat and they make a mess, let's just say there's Cheerios on the floor, broken crayons, spaghetti on the wall, this and that, spill here, spill there. If it's this huge destruction of a mess from your child, either you clean it up, or I feel like as a parent, you should tip a little extra. And yes, people are going to say to me, I already know how this is about to go. I already know people are going to say, that's your job. You're supposed to clean it up. Don't y'all got bus boys? This, and that. No. I mean, yeah, like some places got bus boys, but it's not our responsibility to clean up after your child. Like, what? Like, it's okay, we clean the tables, but like that's some other mess. Like, that's too much. Like, you letting your child do this, that, and the other, and I don't think that's fair. Like, yes, we have jobs, but like that's so rude to say that, you know, like that's somebody's job. That's like you see a janitor freaking mopping the floor and you go and deliberately spill coffee on the floor. Like, that's just rude. Like, you don't do that. It doesn't matter if that's their job. Like, it's just being a human, like having some compassion. Like, your child, freaking kid did that. Like, you don't have the decency to clean up after your child. Like, what? Also, to add with that, the longer that it takes to clean a table is the longer that it takes for me to make money. And that's how we make money. We flip tables. So I'm gonna get into another pet peeve in a minute. But we flip tables. So if I gotta sit there and clean your child's mess for 30 minutes, that's 30 minutes of me not making money. And some places don't have busboys. Some places don't have anybody else to clean it. As a server, we have to clean it or you don't get sat. So another thing with that is the fact that we have to flip tables is if you're having a business meeting, and I worked in a place, like my last job was a place where people would come to do like business or do interviews, stuff like that, very business-like establishment. So that's fine and all, but if you're gonna sit at my table for 2 hours, which is pretty much our shifts, because server shifts are not long, it depends on where you work, but my server shift was like 3 hours and about 30 minutes, and then I would go home. So for that 2 hours that you're sitting there, you're taking up my table. So I have a 3-table section and you taking up one for 2 hours. That means that I'm not getting sat, I'm not making money, I'm not rotating. Another thing that I hate is people don't tell you what they need all at once. Like, they don't give you the list. I need ketchup, mustard, mayo, like this, that, and that. You feel me? Like, tell me all at once so I can, when I'm back there, I can grab everything for you and be done. Like, don't let me go grab the ketchup. I come back, you need mustard. I go get that, you need mayonnaise. Like, don't do that. Like, that, oh, I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot because I'm getting mad because people just don't understand. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, all this stuff is so irritating. It makes my blood boils and it's like giving me Like, I'm having bad flashbacks because people are just so annoying. Like, people are annoying. Like, don't do that. Tell a person all at once, because a survey, like, we used to that. We know, like, we need this, that. Like, it's mental. Like, we have a mental list of things that we need to do and things that our table needs. So don't do that. And now you're delaying me because I'm running back and forth for you. You delaying me on my other table. And that's another thing. Like, you are not the only table. You're not the only table, honey. Sometimes you got a 3 table section. Sometimes you got a 4 table section. Some people have a 5 table section. I've had up to a 7 table section. So all of that to say is you're not the only table. So, like, yes, as a server, we try to give each and every guest a VIP experience, like make them feel like they're the only person in the world, this and that. That's customer service. Like, we kiss behind because that's customer service. Like, if you are in the customer service area in the world, like if you do customer service, then you know what I'm talking about. You kiss butt. Like, honestly, we don't care, but we have to care because it's our job. Don't freaking take away from another table. So I'm catering to you, going back and forth for you, but my table over here is getting abandoned, and I haven't been over there because I'm running around for you, because you want to be extra and tell me everything one by one. You feel me? So don't do that. Like, don't be that person. Like, just don't do that. Splitting checks. If you're gonna split a check, oh my gosh. First of all, I feel like splitting checks shouldn't even be a thing. I really need to, like, at my next job, I want to work at a place where if you split a check more than 2 ways, it's extra. Like, you got to pay extra. And I've been out to eat at places like that. If you split the tab more than twice, then it's an extra charge on the card. I need to work at a place like that because it gets annoying. Like, and people, when they do that, they'll come out to eat with like 10 people. I'm gonna give y'all an example. They'll come out to eat with 10 people. There'll be 10 people, but they'll be like everywhere. Like, oh, I'm on his check over there. I'm on her check over there. And don't even sit next to each other. Like, that's confusing. You don't do that. And then want to pay, like, people will come in a party of 15 and want to pay all separately. Like, do you not understand? Like, that takes so much time. It takes so much time to sit there and do card by card, card by card, card by card. And then you got to, like, sort it out. Make sure you got the right card with the right person, this, and that. Like, why do y'all do that? Figure out how you're gonna pay. If you're in a group, cash out one person, and that one person can use just their card, like some type of system. Like, be consistent. If Susan's paying for you and she's sitting all the way over there, you just sit by Susan. Like, don't do that. Like, you making my job harder than what it gotta be. Like, it's not a hard job, and it shouldn't be hard. People make it hard for no reason. Another pet peeve of mine is don't try to freaking act like a big shot. And what I say about this is, I'm gonna give y'all an example. Don't freaking, I've had a person, they pay in cash, right? They pay the tab in cash, okay? So let's just say the tab is $50. They give me 55 and be like, hand it to me, and then say, like, keep the change in front of, like, the people they're paying for to make themselves look bigger, when the tip is $5 and that's obviously below 20%. And that's not a good tip. So don't try to seem like a freaking big shot when you're not even, like, ew, like, don't do that. Keep the change, and the change is like $4. Like, what? Honestly, the way that I feel, if you're gonna undertip me that poorly, like, if you leave me a $2 tip, you might as well take that $2 and shove it up your behind, because that's really how I feel about it. Like, if you, obviously, like, you need money that bad. If you can't tip your server, that's how I feel. Like, you need money more than I do. You need it more than me, honey. Period. Well, this has been really fun, and I feel great for ranting about this. Like, I just feel like, whoo, because a lot of people just need to know. Like, I feel like they're very ignorant to the things that they do. I feel like they're very ignorant as, like, to the service, especially about the getting paid $213 part, because a lot of people just don't know. I didn't know until I started working, so I'm here to let you know that servers do not get paid, so tip your freaking server. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But yeah, this has been really fun. I'll probably do more rants like this if you guys would like. And if y'all really do want to see me rant about, like, random things or certain things, please list them down below. And I'm very open. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't think anything's off the table for me. Like, I'll rant about anything or give my opinion, how I feel about it. But comment that down below. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that. all that, because it's always sunny on this side. I love you guys, and I will see y'all in my next video.